Welcome to my garage. Welcome to another episode of Awesome on Alli, filmed exclusively in my garage. This week we got a great show. We're going to go up to the U.S. Open of Surf up in Huntington Beach, California. What is the U.S. Open of Surfing? Well, it's a historical event that draws hundreds of thousands of people from all over California. They come and they converge right next to the Huntington Pier to watch the best surfers on the planet surf the world's most marginal wave. Really? Yeah. Crazy. Then we are going to talk about the controversial move of the U.S. Open of Snowboarding from its home at Stratton Mountain, Vermont, to potentially its new home in Vail, Colorado. We're going to talk about what the impact of that is on the sport and how an old geezer like me feels about it. All that plus the top 5 videos of the week. So stay right here with us. Awesome on Alli. The U.S. Open of Surfing is probably the most notorious contest in all of competitive surfing's history. Not because the waves are anything special, but because of the spectator access that you have to this small arena where these guys compete. It's right next to the Huntington Pier in Huntington Beach, California. And you're drawing such a gigantic mass of people there that there have actually been riots in the past. Back in the 80s, a couple cop cars get flipped over, things were set on fire. Fast forward to now. It's a spectacle that has bands, skateboarding, and the best surfers on the planet surfing probably one of the most mediocre waves on the planet. Nonetheless, it comes together and goes down as one of the biggest events in the sport's history. This year, for the musical acts, we have TV on the radio, Best Coast. They're gonna draw so many people there. All I can say is get there early, get a good spot, and plan your exits to get the hell out of there. Also, we have skateboarding. The Coastal Carnage goes down this weekend as well. And that is all about this bowl riding event that takes place just off to the side of the grandstands for watching the surf event. Some of the best bowl skaters in the world will be there competing for the Coastal Carnage prize of Best Bowl Rider. So if you can get down to Huntington Beach, California right now when this airs, it'll be Saturday. You still have a chance to get down there, check out the bands, check out the Coastal Carnage, and check out the finals. You know, if you want to just watch it from your house, there's a great webcast. The Nike U.S. Open of Surfing going down at Huntington Beach, California. Next weekend, I will have a whole bunch of interviews from hopefully the winners and the losers and everyone in between. So, in the meantime, check out the most notorious professional surfing event in the history of the sport. The U.S. Open of Surfing at Huntington Beach, California. So here we go with Awesome on Alli's top 5 videos of the week. We're gonna start things off at number 5 with someone attempting to do a loop on a longboard. Things go very, very wrong. Oh. Apparently the person that made this loop has never seen a video of Tony Hawk or Bob Burnquist or any number of other people doing the actual loop. The number 4 video this week comes to us from AWSM. This is the new movie they have called Chromatic. It's looking pretty sick. It features Chippa Wilson doing massive frontside ollies. Pretty sick stuff. Featuring also Nathan Fletcher. It's gonna be a good bit.
Remote control, television set, phone telephone, ain't found nothing yet. Remote control, remote control, computer chip, laundry mat, DJ music, tell of that.
God, I love that. That little thing that Chippa does where he's all meow, meow, meow. It just kind of pops up into like a floatery thing. Meow, meow. Yeah, makes it look way too easy. Yeesh.
Are you okay?
And the number 3 video this week comes to us from TransWorld SURF called let's surf. Seriously. But let's surf seriously. Let's surf, whatever. Seriously, let's surf. Seriously. And the number 2 video this week, another surf video featuring a tidal bore called The 7 Ghosts. This one, well, it's got a guy drinking a beer, he's boogie boarding, he's all over this thing. Like fingers on a rib. Does that even make sense?
Whoa.
What? I don't even know. Whatever.
I used to have these dreams that I was riding an endless wave and I'd wake up and it was too good to be true. This time, it was real. These waves were endless. All of the locals of the village had come out to watch us surf the river wave. The whole village were just sitting there wondering why we weren't scared by the crocodiles and the tigers. But the thing that tripped us out the most was when they said, no, we're just waiting to see one of you guys get eaten by a crocodile. But it was a strange realisation to see that the whole village was just waiting for us to be eaten.
I don't know if you'd be toying with a wave like that. I know there's like logs and stuff and really scary things in that wave that could really just tear you a new one. It is pretty scary. And this week's number 1 video comes to us from the Coffin Brothers. They shred, and they're pretty funny too. Parker and Connor Coffin, Young Wise Tales presents Electric Wilderness. Adventure.
What was that last part again? Last part again.
So that wraps up the top 5 videos of the week. We'll have more top 5 videos coming at you again next week. Much more to come here on Awesome on Alli.
You're watching Awesome on Alli. T-Pain!
He's in trouble too.
We interrupt this record to bring you a special bulletin.
So this week, the snowboard world was rocked by the news that the Burton U.S. Open in Stratton would be moved to Vail, Colorado. I've got 2 snowboards right here. This one right here was my very first pro model. I got this board because I won the 1994 U.S. Open. And this is what I won the 1997 U.S. Open on. So I'm very sentimental when it comes to having the U.S. Open in Stratton, Vermont. You know, for a lot of us, growing up back east, that was the only way that we could see these pro riders up close, touch them, get close to them, and really be a part of something pretty special. Let's weigh the pluses and the minuses. It's a lot easier to get to Vail from Denver than it would be to get to Stratton from Albany. The quality of snow. Vail, if it's not snowing, it's going to be sunny in the spring. The minuses. Number 1, nostalgia. The U.S. Open is synonymous with Stratton, period. Number 2, accessibility. The fans are what make the U.S. Open great. And if you don't have those fans lining the side of the pipe, banging on the banners, and just being generally obnoxious, you're not going to have the same U.S. Open feel. With Vail, the pipe is about halfway up the actual mountain. You're going to have to spend $100 on a lift ticket just to check the event out.
I'm sure it's still going to be a great event. I'm sure Burton's going to pull out all the stops. There's going to be the best riders in the world there in Vail. But for old fogies like me that grew up on the East Coast, and Stratton was the place to go in March to see the best riders on the planet up close and personal, it's going to be a tough hit. That's my 2 cents.
All right, so that wraps up this week's edition of Awesome on Alli, the preview edition for the U.S. Open of Surfing going on up in Huntington Beach, California. Who's going to win the thing? Who's going to take home the top honors in the Coastal Carnage? Who's going to take home Worst Tattoo of the Weekend? We'll bring that all to you next week. Also, hey, the U.S. Open of Snowboarding moving from Stratton Mountain, Vermont to Vail. How do you guys feel about it? Hit me up. Send me an email at AWSM@AlliSports.com or drop me a tweet at B, as in Burton, Todd Richards. All right, guys, we will see you again next week. Until then, I'm going to sit here and enjoy the sunset. I don't really care what you guys do. Go do something, though. It's a beautiful night.